What's going on, YouTube? Achilles here, and today I put together an Orzhov control deck. I know a lot of you guys like my mono black control deck where I take advantage of Deadly Cover-Up, The End, and Ancient Vendetta, but this time around we're going to be adding white to the mono black deck, so we make it an Orzhov control deck, and the main star of the show is Ketramose, the New Dawn. This card is everything that this deck does already, in the sense that we exile a bunch of cards, but every time we exile a card, we get to draw a card and lose a life. And if we happen to have 7 or more cards in exile between both players, we could have this thing attack and block. And it also happens to have Menace, Lifelink, and Indestructible, by the way, which is very relevant. So once you play this on turn 3, it's going to stay on the board, unless, of course, our opponent makes us sacrifice a creature or exiles it somehow, so this card will be a threat for our opponent. And the rest of the deck has plenty of removal, some draw power, and once we know what our opponent's playing, we could get rid of all their very important pieces so we could ruin their strategy while implementing our own. So let's get right into this list. We got 4 Seam Rip, 4 Strategic Betrayal, 4 Mazemind Tome, 1 Kutzil Flanker, 1 Pinnacle Starcage, 4 Ketramose, the New Dawn, 4 Ancient Vendetta, 4 The End, 1 Kea, Spirit's Justice, 1 Season of the Burrow, 1 Ultima, 1 Ashiok, 4 Deadly Cover-Up, and for the lands we got 2 Plains, 2 Swamps, 1 Bleachbone Verge, 4 Concealed Courtyard, 4 Godless Shrine, 1 Restless Fortress, 4 Demolition Field, 4 Fountainport, and 4 Starting Town. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day, and if you want to become a member, you can get early access to videos. Let's get right into these games. Alright, we get to go first. I'm going to keep this. Okay, what are they playing? That's the real question. I think we just try to draw extra cards with the Mazemind Tome. I think that's the move. The Seam Rip. How dare they? What are they playing? If they're playing Missouri's Control, and what do we name to ruin their day? This is actually a hard choice. We could probably get rid of a really powerful card in their deck, but we don't know what's in there exactly. I think we just try to draw more cards for now. I could wing it and just call a name, but I don't know if that's right. I mean, I could just call like stuff like Consult the Star Charts or whatever, but I need to find more information. I want to keep our draw power going since their deck draws a bunch too, so we want to be drawing just as much as them. They don't have a second Seam Rip, though, at least, so. But they could have a counter, so you have to be very careful. That's a Seam Rip. We could Seam Rip their Seam Rip. That might be a move. You know what? Let's do that. It's only fair after all. Well, there they go. They get to stock up now, at least. Just in case, if they Seam Rip or do anything, we'll split up which Mazemind Tomes we use and whatnot. Honestly, though, I might actually call Consult the Star Charts next. Not only so I could get some information on their deck, but we could at least get rid of a bunch of draw power in their deck moving forward. So let's see. We'll play a land. So the whole mindset is if we could stop their draw power, at least we could... Oh, they got that in their hand. Alright. So let's see what we're dealing with. Biza, Overlord, Orang. It's fair. Looks like they're stuck on 4, which is good for us, because that Elspeth's going to be a problem unless we draw the end to deal with it. Because I focused so much on this build to deal with Exiling that we didn't put the Get Lost in this deck, which you could argue should be in here, but I do definitely want to be able to just have all the cards that complement the Ketramose. So if we play this for 5, they can counter it. So I think we just keep on drawing. What are they waiting to use? It's probably just prompting them if they want to use Restless Anchorage or if they want to use Get Lost on the Seam Rip. And they're just not paying attention. At least I think so. I mean, maybe that mystery card is just something that also is making them have a prompt to do something. Now they're going to go for the Elspeth. Really, they don't go for Elspeth. That's really weird. I guess they're just waiting for something for me to do. They're just holding up the counters or whatever. It's fair. Now we'll get rid of their Restless Anchorage while we can. So now it goes to our turn, and this is actually perfect. So we're going to pay 2 life. We'll make him waste double Normalize right now, if anything. But if this does resolve, I am going to call Elspeth. Oh, they can't even go double Normalize because they have a Demolition Field because they need both a white and a blue source. So technically, I think this is going to resolve regardless, unless that mystery card is a 3 steps ahead, negate, anything really, I mean. Wow, look at that. Okay, we get to go first. I'm going to keep this. Okay, I'm going to keep this one. We'll start off with the Godless Shrine tapped. So let's see. We'll just go Seam Rip. Take care of each creature one at a time. So they play another one. Just gonna use Seam Rip again. The one card that comes to mind is Enduring Curiosity, I believe. As a card that they could just take advantage of in that kind of deck. So I think I am going to call Enduring Curiosity. Because if we could get rid of that, then this style of deck will be, what's the word? We'll just stop it in its tracks. But at the same time, we could just hold up the end. You know what? We're going to hold up the end. Because let's say they flash in Enduring Curiosity next turn. Then we could just get rid of it before the swings go through. So they're going to pump it up. Yeah, it's a Kaido Enduring Curiosity style deck. And they don't have 4 mana, so we're going to take advantage of that right now by using the end to potentially get rid of the Drowner. Of course they could counter it. Yeah, there's the Enduring Curiosity, guys. See? I knew they had it. Let's see what else they got in here. Okay. Very fancy. And the Soulstone Sanctuary as well, which we gotta remember is in there. Now this is the move. We're going to use Ancient Vendetta. We're going to call Ancient Curiosity. Ancient Curiosity, Enduring Curiosity. Imagine if I typed in Ancient Curiosity and it's like, alright, well, that card doesn't exist. The best part about Ancient Vendetta is that they don't get a replacement card from the hand when we get rid of the cards, unlike Deadly Cover-Up and the End, where if they have the copy of the card that's getting exiled, get extra cards to their hand for every card of it that gets exiled, but Ancient Vendetta just says, yeah, you know what, we're just going to get rid of everything. It's pretty great. Okay, so what's the move, you may ask? I think we're going to use Seam Rip first on the Siren, and then we're going to use the end on the Sailor right now. Just because we already got rid of a bunch of Sirens, so I feel like it would make more sense to get rid of all the copies of the Sailor. Best part about Into the Floodmaw is that they can't bounce their own cards, so it works out. What we could do next turn is, if we really want, we could go Season of the Burrow and just make an army of rabbits to start swinging. But they have their own Faebloom trick as well we have to worry about. We could just double Seam Rip though, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, we are going to take a little bit of damage though. Let's do it like this. I just want to stop taking damage immediately. Go for the big swing. Just gonna make a bunch of rabbits. That's all we gotta do right now is just swarm them with rabbits. Oh my goodness, they're doing it again. Well then, this works out pretty well. So we are going to get rid of you. We will get rid of you. And the Strategic Betrayal, because why not, of course. So now this puts him back to square one. So even if they bounce one of our guys, it's still going to take a while for that 1/1 to do anything. But now we even have the end, so we can exile it. If we need to, of course. Nice. Opponent's going first. Not too bad of a hand. The authority of the consoles is not that big of a deal to use the Seam Rip on, but if they don't play anything in this matchup that's worth... Oh my goodness. I was going to say that if there's nothing else to Seam Rip, I'll just Seam Rip the authority, but our opponent's giving us a really good reason to Seam Rip the Seam Rip now. So we Seam Rip, and what this does for us is that we get to draw a card at the end of their turn. That'd be crazy if they use another Seam Rip. Oh my god, that is crazy, guys. Can't make this up. So they Seam Rip, So the seam rips can seem... Okay, it's too many seam rips. But all I know is that I'm going to just draw a card. I don't know what they're playing, and I'm not going to use Ancient Vendetta to call Seam Rip or something like that, which would be very funny, but we need more information on their deck before we could really take advantage of that. So what's the move? Well, I think we just get Ketramose out because most of the cards in our deck exile, so we could take advantage of its ability. So we have to just get it on the board. Okay, some kind of enchantment deck. Alright, now we know what they're playing at least. Hit him with the double Strategic Betrayal. That card has to go. That's the best card in their deck. So what's the move then? Well, I think we're going to do it like this. I'm going to exile this. Yeah, sure, they'll gain a couple of life. But I think we're good. Nice. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Tell me what you think of the deck in the comments section down below. Please like the video and subscribe if you have not already. And if you're new here, just know I have new videos coming out every day. Hope everyone has a great day. Take care.